Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, August 2nd. Skipped yesterday. Just played D&D with my buddies after work. Today is movie day. And finally time to watch Grease. Of course, I found out that I didn't actually have a movie for this case. And then this one's full screen, didn't want to watch that. So I have bought this one. This is the Blu-ray version. So I have many cases for Grease. Lots of Grease here, but it's a musical, it's fun. It's one of the musicals that I was like, I like that, before I knew, like, I just liked musicals. Look at sort of the cover image on the two, because whatever the new one is like art, it's drawn, but it's just a drawn version of this photo. This is a nice photo. Why didn't they just use the photo? Whatever. But yeah, so it'll be fun. It's been a bit since I feel like I've watched like a nice musical. I like musicals. So I'm gonna watch Grease. And I would give Grease an 8.9 out of 10. Grease is the word. The classic tale of good girl Sandy, Olivia Newton-John, and bad boy Danny, John Travolta, gets tuned up with some new special features in this Grease exclusive 40th anniversary edition. Your favorite movie musical just gets better with time. It's Peachy Keen, Jellybean. Hey, they started just discussing the bonus features. What does the other one say? Grease is definitely the word. John Travolta became the world's box office king with his unforgettable performance as Danny Zuko. In this film version of the smash hit Broadway musical about the fabulous 50s, Olivia Newton-John rocketed to stardom in her American film debut as the adorable and sexy Sandy, who's determined to win Zuko's heart. The supporting cast boasts incredible performances from Jeff Conaway, Stockard Channing, Frankie Avalon, Sid Caesar, Eve Arden, and countless others. It's a fun movie. The music is wonderful. The costumes and sets are great. I mean, it's about the 50s. It's from, what was it, the 70s, I think. So, I mean, it is a period film. It's obviously a lot more of a period film now than it was when it was made. A lot further distant period, but it was even a period film at that point. And it's great. It's wonderful. You know, it doesn't shy away from subjects, teen pregnancy, gang violence, what are some of the other things? But yeah, it's just, you know, it's a little harsh, a little vulgar, all wrapped up in this cute little musical. And it's, you know, basic story. Danny and Sandy met on summer break. She's going to go away and he's never going to see her again. But surprise, instead of going back to Australia, she goes to his high school. A high school of 30-year-olds. But you know what? As a kid, I never questioned their age. As a teenager, I never questioned their age. It's only now that I look at them, I'm like, they look like they're my age. That I questioned their age, and I'm like, oh, that's because they are. So, it took me this long. But, you know, they met, sweethearts, torn apart, brought back together, but Danny's got an image. You know, he can't just be this nice, sweet guy anymore. He's too cool for that. He's a T-bird. He has a reputation. And that hurts her feelings, because she wants the Danny that she met at the beach. And so throughout the movie, they're on and off, and he makes the decision that it's worth changing who he is for her. By the end of the movie, just at the time where she changes who she is for him. So, it's sweet, and there's all sorts of cool car races and auto theft to get the car ready to race, which the auto shop teacher seems like complicit in. Like she's sending these students off to go rob cars, like to rob parts off cars to fix up this car. Like, there's a point where she says like, "This car is as hot as the parts on her," and I'm like, okay, so she's not like being fooled. Like, oh, how'd you get all these parts? No, she's aware these students are stealing, and she's fine with it. There's a number of cute or interesting interactions with teachers and faculty. Otherwise, the T-Birds, the Pink Ladies, I mean, they were what defined cool for me in my youth. I couldn't quite live up to that standard, but, that was what was cool. But yeah, there's moments. There's, Rizzo's song. There are worse things I can do than go with a boy or two. Anyways, like that song, that scene is my earliest memory of this movie. And it was playing on the TV in my mom's living room at the house we lived in when I was a kid. And I just caught that snip of it. I remember it. It was memorable. I don't remember what my opinion of it was at the time, but I only remember that little snippet of it. I was probably busy doing something, playing, being a kid, because I was a kid. But that's like my first memory, so I see that, and then I love songs, Summer Nights, it's one of my go-to. Greased Lightning is great, but also like the kind of song like I know I listened to and sang along with as a kid, and it's really weird to acknowledge what the lyrics of that song are and think back to child Adam singing that. I'm like, Look at Me and Sandra Dee is a great song. Like whatever, the pigtailed Pink Lady, brusha, brusha, brusha. It's fun. It's a fun movie. I like period films. I like musicals. I like silly high school romance movies. It's got all I'm looking for in a movie, really. It's oh yeah, and then there's like that whole big dance, because there's like the whole thing like where there's the high school dance that's being televised in the middle, which brings in not only like the musical numbers, but other points where they're using like popular music in the musical for actual dance scenes, which is a cool concept. When I was younger, I was less interested in those songs and not that, but like now that mostly I know the hand jive, I know these are things I'm familiar with now, brings a lot more interest. Overall, I'm not surprised that I love it, because I knew I loved it. I haven't seen it in many years, but I remember loving it, and it has all the things that I'm like, I'm still gonna love that. So, I had fun. It was a good evening. And that's one more movie that gets to be pulled forward on that shelf. I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you for joining me. Join me as my journey continues.